Hi there, it's Andy from Email Love, and today we're going to walk through how to use corner radius with the Email Love Figma plugin. I really like using corner radius. It allows you to add a little bit of more shape to your components within Figma, and it is fairly widely supported across email clients, with Outlook being the one exception, which is the email client that does not seem to like rounded corners. But for the most part, rounded corners are going to work really well on mobile and in many desktop webmail clients. So here is my example template. So we're going to walk through each of these components separately, but just to give you an idea of what we're trying to do here, it's add rounded shapes to our sections, our images, our buttons, footers, things like that. And there's a few tips and tricks to help you achieve this look and feel with your Email Love templates. So let's begin with probably the easiest component here. So what I'm going to do is basically round the corners of this image and of the button. And so let's start with the image. To do that, you simply select the image frame, and then on the right hand side in the appearance section of Figma, you'll see the corner radius, and you actually have a few different options here. You can apply the same corner radius to all four corners, or you can apply different corner radius numbers to each corner. And you might use these four separate blocks if you just wanted to apply a corner radius to the top but not the bottom of something. But in this case, let's add 25 pixels around all four corners of this image. And if we zoom in here, you can see how that looks. So instantly makes it a little softer, a little bit nicer to look at. And then same thing with the button. Again, simply select the button, and then over here you can play around with the corner radius number. So let's just say we want to add a more square button but with rounded corners. So this example has a corner radius of 5 pixels, and we could go all the way up to 100 pixels for a fully rounded button. So super easy. That's the first example. Let's move on to something a little bit more sophisticated. So here is a hero section, and what we can actually do here is we can actually apply the corner radius to the entire wrapper of the email. So if I select the wrapper and then apply a corner radius of 50, you can see here I now have a section with rounded corners, and then when you pull that into here, you can see that's kind of what it's going to look like. You could add some spacing around this if you wanted to. So that's one place. So to summarize, I've just selected the entire section and then rounded the corners that way. Another thing that you could do is, here's a good example. So let's say I want to round the corners of this white section, but I want the background to be the same color as the footer. So what I'm going to do is grab the footer color, which is this kind of dark, almost black. And then if I select the top wrapper and go down to the section, I can apply the corner radius to the section. So let's apply 25 pixels to the bottom corners of that section. And you can see here the reason I grabbed the color of the footer is I would need to apply that color to the wrapper level. So that's just so you can see what I'm doing here. You can see how the corner turned red. So basically the wrapper has a background color which you want to match the section below it, and then we're rounding the corners of the section itself. So let's just change this here to be, there we go. So that's quite a cool cool effect, I think. Okay, here is another one. So here's just a section with an image. So this is in a container. So it's actually a wrapper with two sections. So we have a section up here and then another section for the image. And so in this case, I'm going to select the top section. I'm going to apply 25 pixels to the top corners, and then for the bottom section with the image, I'll apply 25. There we go. So there we have a multi-section component with rounded corners. And then, okay, with the last one, you can actually apply it to things like the headers as well if you wanted to. So I'm not saying I would necessarily do this, but if you select a header wrapper and then add 100, so 100, 100 on the corners, I can then create this rounded corner effect on the wrapper. Let's just preview that. There we go, so that's what that would look like. So there's a few different ways that you can apply rounded corners using the corner radius tool in Figma. And if we jump over to our browser and take a look at how these render, this is Inbox Monster. This is our email testing tool. You can see the corner radius works really well in most mobile clients, most webmail clients, and as I mentioned at the start, Outlook is really the main issue when it comes to rounded corners, but it's not something that I would worry about too much. I think people that use Outlook are probably not used to seeing rounded corners in their inbox anyway. So just to show you a few examples of how these components render, and if we go down into the Windows section, you can see all of the buttons turn square, the sections turn square, the images, and that's across all versions of Windows. So not something I would worry about, but yeah, definitely interested to see how you use rounded corners in your email love templates. So hopefully that was useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and have fun using the corner radius tool in Figma.